I didn't intend to become involved in comedy at all. I was shy, quiet, sort of boy with no friends at school. I wasn't the popular one like all the kids say. Oh, he was always the class clown. I was never that at all. But I was bullied a lot, mainly because obviously I'm ginger. I was a little bit different to everybody else. I was in the brass band as well, so there was literally nothing cool about me whatsoever, which made me sort of have a big target on my back. Wasn't until my final year at school. I'd written a letter to my mate, just a jokey around, messy about letter, which got passed around the school. Started to disrupt lessons that I wasn't in. The teacher got hold of it and found out that I'd written it. Because it was so disruptive, as a punishment, I had to read this out at the next school talent night that we had. But it backfired somewhat when I got a standing ovation for it. And that's really how I got bitten with the bug. Came out of my shell because of that. Probably the best thing that ever happened to me. So in my early days, I got to meet Ken Dodd. I used to work with him regularly at the Blackpool Magic Convention. A few years ago, it was the 60th anniversary of his showbiz career in Blackpool, and I went over and I had a chat with him. And one piece of advice he gave me that has always stuck with me is the people that are in the audience are there to have a good night out. They may have arranged babysitters, they may have saved all month, this could be their only night out for months, weeks, you don't know. I don't really have influences in my performance or the way that I write. Most of my material comes off the cuff. It's, you know, I've never sat down and written a joke in my life. It'll all come from speaking to people and building on it, and then it progresses from there. But my biggest comedy heroes, absolutely Eric Morecambe, Charlie Chaplin, and Bob Monkhouse. I would love to say that the reason we opened the comedy station was to bring entertainment back to Blackpool, when in reality it was laziness. There was no comedy clubs around Blackpool whatsoever. The nearest venues back when I started were in Manchester, Liverpool. I couldn't drive, and the trains back to Blackpool finished at around 10 o'clock, so it's becoming more and more difficult for me to actually gig, because you didn't get paid for your first 2 years, so it was costing me a fortune. Me and a friend of mine, Mike Sands, opened up the comedy station on April the 1st, 2002. I'm not expecting it to really take off, go anywhere, we thought we'd be lucky if we got 5 years out of it, but at least we've got somewhere we can practice, we can build, we can grow as comedians. And then it just sort of snowballed into what we've got now. Oh, I absolutely loved the Open Up the Mic with Showtime. It's nice to see kids that really wanted to get up on stage, push themselves out of the boundary, and out of their comfort barrier, and watching them grow over such a relatively short space of time, from knowing nothing to going on stage and getting a standing ovation in some circumstances. Do as many gigs as you can, write as much as you can. If you want to start out in comedy, there's plenty of gigs, especially in the Northwest. It's never been easier to start out in comedy now. But what I will always recommend is that you stick to 2 sets, a 5-minute set and a 10-minute set that you start out with, and don't change those, don't move on from those, don't try and write any more until they're perfected. And then eventually you'll have your own 30-40-minute set that you can go away and start earning money on. Yeah, I started the comedy club, I think I was 21. Well, I will have been because I'm 41 now. Best thing I ever did, I'm including getting married and having children. This is my favourite child. This is an early start, this.
Oh, we've got your parents.
Yeah, I don't usually wake up until Thursday.